Veronica's first mission, the search for Monica's lost relatives. The hospital corridors of General Hospital hummed with a quiet urgency. Doctors and nurses moved briskly, carrying charts, pushing carts, saving lives. But in the corner office overlooking the city, a different kind of operation was about to begin. Veronica Chase had been in Port Charles for only a few months, her reputation as a sharp, resourceful investigator quickly solidifying. Recruited into a discreet task force working under Anna Devane and Drew Kane, she was considered green compared to veterans like Jason Morgan or even Dante Falconeri. Still, she carried herself with the unshakable determination of someone with nothing to lose and everything to prove. Anna, standing with her usual air of elegance and gravitas, slid a file across the table toward Veronica. "This is your first official mission under my command," Anna said.
"It's not about espionage or takedowns. It's about family."
Monica Quartermain has recently discovered that two of her relatives, thought lost to time and tragedy, may still be alive. Monica isn't well enough to go herself, but she has entrusted this task to us. She asked for you specifically.
Veronica blinked in surprise. "Me? Why?"
Drew, who leaned casually against the window, offered a faint smile. "Because Monica said you reminded her of herself when she first came to Port Charles.
Stubborn, relentless, and just a little reckless."
Anna's expression softened. Monica wants her family united. She has carried the burden of so many losses, Alan, AJ, Emily. She believes finding these two relatives may bring healing not just for her, but for the Quartermain legacy. The mission is simple in description, but complicated in execution. Find them.
Convince them to come to Port Charles.
And make sure nothing, and no one, stands in the way. Veronica opened the file and found two names scribbled in Monica's neat handwriting. Catherine Chandler, Monica's niece on her mother's side, reportedly living under a different identity after fleeing a disastrous marriage abroad. Dr. Stephen Quartermain Jr., Alan's cousin's son, a surgeon who vanished 2 decades ago after being accused of medical malpractice. Both were ghosts, people the world believed gone or irrelevant. And yet Monica's instincts told her otherwise. Veronica straightened in her chair, a fire igniting in her chest. Consider them found. The first stop was London. Veronica had traced Catherine Chandler's name through a defunct charity that had once been run by an American expatriate named Catherine Ellis. The handwriting on the charity's registration papers bore a striking resemblance to old letters Monica kept from her niece. London was grey and drizzly when Veronica arrived. She pulled her trench coat tighter and followed the lead to a bookstore nestled in a quiet alley near Bloomsbury. Inside, the air smelled of paper and dust. A woman in her early 60s, with auburn hair streaked with grey and sharp green eyes, stood behind the counter. "Can I help you?" the woman asked in crisp English.
Veronica studied her closely.
The cheekbones, the eyes, yes, this could be Monica's niece.
"You can, actually. Catherine Chandler?"
The woman froze. The color drained from her face. "You must be mistaken. My name is Catherine Ellis." "I don't think so." Veronica leaned in, lowering her voice.
"Monica Quartermain sent me. She needs you."
At the mention of Monica's name, the woman's mask cracked. For a moment she looked vulnerable, almost childlike. Then she shook her head fiercely.
"No. That life is over. I can't go back." Veronica's jaw tightened.
"Why not?" "Because," Catherine whispered, "if I return to America, the man I ran from will find me.
And he'll kill me."
The story spilled out in fragments over cups of tea in the small back office of the bookstore. Catherine had married a wealthy but dangerous businessman in her youth, a man tied to criminal syndicates in Europe. When she discovered his dealings and threatened to expose him, he turned violent. She escaped with nothing but her passport and fled to England, taking a new name.
4 decades she had hidden in plain sight.
"I loved Monica," Catherine said softly, tears welling in her eyes. "But I couldn't risk leading him to her. I thought disappearing was the only way to protect her."
Veronica felt a pang of empathy.
She knew what it meant to run from danger. Her own past was riddled with shadowy figures she tried to escape.
But duty outweighed fear.
"Catherine, Monica doesn't have much time," Veronica pressed gently. "She's sick.
She needs her family around her.
If you stay hidden, you'll regret it forever.
Let me protect you.
Let me get you home safely."
Catherine hesitated.
For the first time in decades, she wanted to believe safety was possible.
"All right,"
she whispered. "But only if you can promise me he'll never find me again."
Veronica nodded.
"That's a promise." But as she glanced out the window and noticed a dark sedan idling across the street, her gut told her Catherine's past was already catching up. With Catherine reluctantly on board, Veronica moved on to the second relative. Her trail led her to South America, to a remote clinic in the mountains of Chile. There, a Dr. Stephen Quatermain Jr. was rumored to be treating patients off the grid, no license, no official records. The clinic was a shabby collection of huts and tents, but the man she found inside was unmistakably Quatermain. Tall, broad-shouldered, with the same piercing eyes as Alan. His hands moved with practiced precision as he stitched up a young boy's wound. When Veronica introduced herself, he laughed bitterly. Quatermains never quit, do they? I left that family for a reason. They wanted me to be perfect. When I failed, they exiled me. Why should I go back now? Veronica didn't flinch. Because Monica asked. And because the family isn't complete without you. Stephen scowled, memories flashing across his face. He had been accused of negligence after a patient died during a risky surgery, but he swore the hospital had covered up faulty equipment to protect its donors. Rather than fight a losing battle, he had disappeared. They wanted me to take the fall, he said. So I left. I built a new life here. These people need me more than the Quatermains ever did. Veronica leaned forward. But Monica needs you now. Don't punish her for mistakes others made. Don't punish yourself by hiding forever. Her words lingered in the air. For the first time in years, Stephen considered the possibility of redemption. Getting them to agree was one thing. Getting them home was another. Back in London, Catherine's abusive ex had caught wind of her resurfacing. Men in dark suits began trailing Veronica and Catherine, forcing them into constant motion. In Chile, word spread that a wealthy American doctor was leaving. Criminal elements who profited from his free clinic weren't about to let him go without a fight. By the time Veronica gathered both relatives at a safe house in Barcelona, she realized the mission had escalated from family reunion to survival. I thought this was about bringing people together, she muttered as she loaded a pistol Anna had slipped into her bag. But of course, in Port Charles, nothing is ever that simple. The final leg of the journey was a private jet arranged by Drew. But before they could board, Catherine's pursuers cornered them at the airstrip. Armed men surrounded Veronica, Catherine, and Stephen. You can't fight them, Catherine whispered, trembling. Veronica squared her shoulders. Watch me. The next few minutes were chaos, gunfire, shouting, the roar of engines. Veronica fought with calculated precision, buying time for Stephen to hustle Catherine toward the plane. At one point, she nearly lost her footing, but Jason Morgan appeared out of nowhere, having been sent by Anna as backup. You didn't think we'd let you do this alone, did you? Jason growled as he took down one of the attackers. Together, they cleared a path. Veronica, bruised but unbowed, shoved Catherine up the steps of the jet. Stephen followed, his surgeon's hands shaking as he held a gun for the first time in decades. As the jet soared into the night sky, Veronica exhaled deeply. They had made it. Barely. When the plane touched down in Port Charles, Monica was waiting at General Hospital. Frail but radiant, she stood with Tracy, Ned, and the rest of the Quatermains behind her. The moment Catherine stepped into the room, Monica burst into tears. I thought I lost you forever. Catherine clutched her aunt's hands, both women sobbing openly. Stephen lingered at the back, hesitant. But Monica spotted him immediately. Stephen, she whispered, her voice breaking. You came. He swallowed hard, emotions threatening to overwhelm him. I never stopped being a Quatermain. I just forgot what it meant. The family surrounded them, embracing, crying, laughing. For the first time in years, the Quatermain mansion would be full again. Veronica watched quietly, pride swelling in her chest. Her first mission hadn't just been a success, it had given a dying woman hope and restored a fractured family. Anna approached, placing a hand on Veronica's shoulder. You did well. More than well. You've proven yourself. Veronica allowed herself the smallest of smiles. So, what's next? Anna's eyes glimmered. Enjoy this moment. The next mission will find you soon enough. Though the Quatermain family reunion was heartfelt, ripples of this mission would soon shake Port Charles. Catherine's abusive ex had survived the airstrip battle and vowed revenge. Stephen's enemies in South America were already plotting to expose him. And Veronica herself had caught the attention of powerful figures, both allies and foes. She had proven she could bring the impossible to life. That kind of talent never stayed unnoticed for long. For now, though, Monica sat surrounded by her family, holding both Catherine and Stephen's hands. Her eyes sparkled with gratitude as she whispered, "We're whole again." And for the first time in a long time, Veronica Chase felt she belonged, not just in Port Charles, but in the heart of its most complicated, maddening, and loving family.